Welcome to the Life of Hair. My name's James Atkinson, and in today's episode, it is a cracker. I have interviewed the one and only Sam Veer. And in this interview, he brings some of the most insightful tips and tricks of any video I've seen on the internet today. He talks about how the hairdressing industry has changed and we are looking at an economy that is driven by millennials who are looking for experiences. He talks about his favorite haircutting techniques and his favorite style ever. And believe you me, the style he chooses is an absolute banger and one of my absolute favorites too. Sam was an absolute genius for letting me interview him. So if you're watching this, Sam, it was an absolute honor and a pleasure to interview you. And remember everybody, if you enjoy this, then share it with your friends. There's some great tips and tricks. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and talk to me in the comments. If you want to see more of these type of interview programs, then do let me know and I will get it done for you. See you next week. So, welcome everybody. My name's James Atkinson. For those of you that watch my channel regularly, you'll know that I do tutorials and I do behind the scenes footage from hair events. With me, I have the amazing Sam Veer. We are both at RAC here in Amsterdam, which is Redken Artist Connect, but he's kindly let me interview him. Thank you, Sam.
James, a pleasure. I mean, anything it's about hairdressers supporting hairdressers, and I'm all about that, especially when it comes to education.
Fantastic. For those of you that don't know who Sam is, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Sam.
Well, I've been a hairdresser for just over 40 years. I want to make it clear I started when I was 1, but over 40 years, and it's been really a great journey being a hairdresser. You know, over the 40 years, so many people have taught me so many things, James, and I choose just to pay it forward. You know, I'm not a rock star, I'm not a genius, I'm not an inventor, I'm not a visionary. I am proud to say that I'm a hairdresser who chooses to be a teacher. And over those years, I've learned so much, so I'm just simply enjoying my journey of paying it back. So many people ask me why I do what I do, and I just want to make hairdressers better hairdressers. And my dad taught me something really good. He said that if you're going to be a teacher, if you can help people get what they want, you will get what you want. You know, your ego is not your amigo, and stay humble. And that's what I've tried to do, is just, connect with people through just the facilitation of teaching and helping people be better hairdressers. And that's been my objective. And by having that and instilling that culture and that mindset in me, I think, James, that's what's really pushed me to the top. It's the people. It's not about my work. Guys, look, like I said, I'm not an inventor. I'm a teacher. I'm a messenger. I go out there, I research it, I find it, and I say, okay, how can I break this down and make it more simple for people to grasp? That's my goal.
Wow, that's an amazing answer, guys. I'm sure lots of you out there will resonate with that if you've watched Sam's channel. He's got so much information to give, and yeah, that is wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I really believed in educational sound bites were the way to go. I really saw how people say, well, you were the first one in Guy Tang. Were the first ones to really get this whole social movement going. I really feel Guy Tang really got it going. But I also saw what people needed, James, was sound bites of education. People were tired of sitting and watching an hour-long DVD. They wanted to just give it to me, just give it to me. And it's all because it's an experience economy, meaning that the millennials are driving the economy right now. They're looking for an experience. It's no longer a possession economy. At least in the U.S., I find that what they do is they say, I'm not going to buy a home, Sam. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to Ibiza for a month. I'm going to have a great time. That's an experience. So I think as hairdressers, we need to start thinking about the way we teach. We need to start thinking about education and making it more abnormal. So you're thinking, well, Sam, what do you mean by that? Well, people are looking for the abnormal. That's why influencers have created disruption in the industry with this underground education. And by the way, I don't look at it as a disruption. I look at it as an interruption, meaning that I embrace the influencers. I love what they're doing. I love how they're bringing a new sense of education. Yet what's important is this. What's made Redken, who and what Redken is the art of facilitation, the education process of how we teach. We were the first manufacturer out there to start using flip charts and diagramming haircuts so people could really see it and get the learning. We were the first to become learner focused. We were the first to become learner based education. So I really believe that in your classes you got to create an experience. Let me give you an example. At the Redken Symposium, I did a hands-on class with 500 people. I took my 35 zone facilitators and I said, I want you to watch the haircut, film step one. They filmed step one. Then I said, okay, talk about it. Now film step two. They said, Sam, why are you having us film it? Is that so we can study it tonight? I said, no. When you're going down your zones, you're using the phone as a coaching tool. So now when you come up to somebody and they're having an issue and a problem, rather than just verbalizing it, now you're going to go, well, let's look at the step one together and let's see if you can find out where you're having the problem. Now, that was an experience. Because when the zone coaches would come back after step, I go, how'd it go step one? They go, Sam, we barely had anything to coach. The phone is a brilliant idea. So here, go back a little further. When I did step one, I was showing them a great a concept that I picked up from Mark Hayes, reverse graduation, just extending the length a little bit on each section. As I said, I'm not an inventor. I'm a teacher. I'm a messenger. So what I did was I said, now, as I'm teaching the step one, I'm saying, now, please don't let me be misunderstood. The past is where we learn, the future is where we apply it. So for you blenders, it's a non-blended haircut, but there's a reason and a why behind it, because we're creating a soft, loose texture. So you don't have to rely so much on point cutting. And you can really get the texture immediately in one step. Now remember, the most important thing is elevation. You have to get your elevation up vertically. So now when they went to go do step one, James, I pressed the music. The first song they heard was The Animals. Please don't let me be misunderstood. And I watched them, and they all went like that. I said, remember, guys, this is a reverse graduation, so it's different than what you've done in the past. Trust the process. Then the next song after that was U2, Elevation. I said, all right, I'm watching you guys. Get your elevation up. Come on. And then the song was on, and they're all going, wow. See, what I wanted to do was create an experience in that hands-on. And I think we need to think about that, James, and that's what we need to do in salons, is create an experience. And I hear this all the time. Sam, I'm losing my business. I go, well, you involved in social? Are you using your phone? And they're like, well, what do you mean? I go, when you have a new client, do you not teach them how to blow dry their hair? And they go, yeah, I do. I go, well, then here's what I recommend you do. To make it an experience, how about if you did this? You had a little monkey tripod. When it came to blow dry the client's hair, you ask them for their phone. You place it on that monkey tripod. You press video, and now you're videotaping for the client everything they're teaching. Use the round brush this way. Put it in your hand, Louise. No, Louise, move your hand this way. Louise, look at the product I'm taking my outshine, and I'm blending my outshine with this glow dry. Okay? So that's why I want to soften the product up. You see how much I'm using? Can you imagine, James? When you're done with that appointment, my friends, you are handing back the phone to the client, and you're saying to the client, Louise, you now have your own YouTube tutorial. You're the star, and you place me on your vanity every morning, press play, and I'll be there to coach you every morning. Now, James, for my friends out there, that's an experience. So stop worrying about Amazon. You still need to stay in the retail game. You owe it to them as a professional standing behind the chair to prescribe and recommend. So don't throw the towel in on retail. Well, Sam, what do I do when I talk about a product and they go to Amazon and they say, well, I can get it here for $2 cheaper. Salon owners, support your stylists and match the price. You're probably like, what do you mean, Sam? You're losing me money. No. Listen to what I'm about to say. If it's three euros cheaper, you match it. I would rather see you make maybe €1, €2, €3. I don't know what your markup is, but I would rather you make that than this, 0. But most importantly, James, what you're doing is you're connecting with the client. So I'm going to role play it. Louise, listen, I don't want you to have to go online and order it. I don't want you to have to go down the street and buy it. I'll match that price. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give it to you €1 cheaper. So now what you've done is, and oh yeah, by the way, Louise, 25% of our retail sales at Christmas, we do a fashion show for the local cancer society, and 25% of our retail sales supports that. I just wanted you to know a little bit about the culture of the salon. So now what you've done, based upon how you videotaped the blow dry tutorial for them, and how you talked about matching that, you made a connection. People buy people, then they buy things.
Yes.
So hairdressers, you have to understand it's a different world standing behind the chair. You really have to understand communication builds wealth. It's the way you communicate behind the chair. Start communicating with your phone and use your phone. Another example of an experience, James, is let's say you do a color and you're not double booked and the color's processing for 30 minutes. What do most of you do? I put money on it. You go to the break room. Excuse me, the broke room. There's no money to be made in the break room. Get out of there. Well, Sam, what do I do when my color's processing for 30 minutes and I don't have a client behind that? Well, then if I were you, I'd invest in a pivot point mannequin, a tripod, go sit with that client, show them how to do a ponytail, how to cover up the elastic, how to do things, simple little braids that they can do. And oh, by the way, you're probably thinking, well, Sam, she's cutting a pixie. Why would I show her all those tricks? Because you're going to make her the hero of the family. Granddaughters, nieces, whomever, her daughters. But what I'm trying to help you understand, my friends, is you have to create an experience. That's an experience. And oh, by the way, you're using your time by doing that, sitting her with a mannequin and showing her, and guess what you're doing? People in the salon are probably going, what's that guy doing over? Oh, that's Sam. He's playing with his dolls and he's showing his clients tricks. Wow, that's really cool what he just taught her. So you're promoting yourself. You're promoting the salon. You have to understand, guys, take yourself out of the box that we've learned on how to be a hairdresser. Go to redken.com, go to Sam Villa Hair, and start listening and watching the things that we're trying to share with you right now that are going to grow your business and get you in the social game, because you got to get in the game.
Big time. Sam, wonderful advice there. I mean, if you're watching this, you need to be taking notes, because that was one hell of a piece of advice. Talking about social media, Sam touched on it a moment ago. Sam, you've got an amazing social media account, Instagram and YouTube, huge amount of followers. Where did you start, and how long ago did you start?
We started about 10 years ago, and I saw that the trend was moving towards sound bites of education, not long videos. And then I saw social as a means to get that out there and put it out there for free. And that was what really started it. Once it was just small sound bites, because life becoming so fast paced, and then the fact that it was free, and it was more hot tips and tricks. And I remember one of my friends, really close Redken artists, he said, Sam, why are you calling it tricks? You're not a magician. I go, no. I said, sometimes you change the language to get people's attention. Imagine, James, if you said this to your client, let's vandalize your crown. And the client's going to look at me and go, what? Yeah, let's disrupt your crown. She goes, Sam, what are you talking about? Let's texturize it. But had I said to the client, let's texturize it, she'd go, yeah, well, okay. But if I say, let's vandalize it, she'd go, what? Well, let's disrupt it. Sam, so by changing the language, I got her attention. So I'm not changing the language to be cool. I'm suggesting you change the language because they're hearing the same thing. Let's texturize your hair. Let's go in and let's slice it. Let's go in and let's do this. Guys, you got to understand, you need to change the language to get, the conversation needs to change. And it goes back to that comment where I said communication builds wealth. So social is something that I saw as an avenue. Social is your business card. Social is today's business card. Social is today's advertising. One of our social people, KCE, was social. She said, social is free advertising, salon owners. You have to understand that. What are you waiting for? That's free investment right there. So take the time, get somebody, if you don't understand social, go to social classes, get into those social business classes, because you have a choice. Keep doing the things that you're doing today, and you're going to get left behind. And at Redken, we don't want to see you get left behind. We want to help you grow with the times. And that's why Redken is where it is in terms of education. So social is a great means. But I also see, James, where people would say to me, Sam, I would love to see it from beginning to end. That's why I started the Artist Studio. The Artist Studio is a monthly subscription that people can sign up for a monthly fee. And there you're going to see all the videos in its entirety. So if you want from beginning to end, you have that. But then again, on the business mind side, it's going to cost you. Sound bites, you can have those. But when I put those videos together, it costs me. And guess what, guys? I'm a businessman just like you are, a business person.
And I'll also link that in the description down below. Sam's website, you can go and look at his educational videos there. And I know for a fact that they are absolutely amazing. Tell us about your passion for education, Sam, because Sam is, as you've probably heard, he's a passionate educator. But where did that all come from? Where did that stem from, Sam?
I think it stems from probably from my father and, going through sports and wanting to be a coach. I think that there was one comment that he made to me. He said, if you can help people get what they want, you will get what you want. But he also said, your ego is not your amigo, and you must stay humble. and let the people push you to the top. Don't try to get to the top. He goes, when you try to get to the top, you're trying too hard, and your ego will get in the way. So I think ego is something that's great. Everybody has one, but you have to learn how to manage it. It is a good thing, but you want to manage it in a way where it's supportive to people. You want to manage your ego in a way where it has the concept of sharing, not the concept of I know everything, not the concept of I'm better than you. James, I'm going to be really honest with you and tell you something. I'm not a great hairdresser, but I will tell you this. I believe I'm one of the best teachers. And I really have worked hard on it.
I'm with him on that, by the way.
But I'm not the best hairdresser. But I feel I'm a good hairdresser, but there's so many people out there that are much better than I am as a hairdresser. But I chose to brand myself as an educator. I chose to brand myself as a teacher. I chose not to play the avant-garde. I'll play it when I need to, but that's not my playground. My playground is education. My playground is getting hairdressers to network. My playground is growing hairdressers. That's my playground.
Fantastic, Sam. Thank you for that. Sam, honestly, is so inspiring. If you've never seen Sam, and I know huge in America, and there's some UK hairdressers that haven't seen his work, you must check it out. What's your favourite hairstyle ever?
Has to be the firefly.
The firefly. Oh, me too, Sam. Put it there. Put it there,
right?
Sam.
Firefly, right, James?
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
These kids, you have to understand, you can texturize hair, but I'm going to ask you, can you cut low graduation? Can you cut a precision? And the firefly is the master of precision. That haircut to me was one of the first cuts I learned, and then I started putting it on everybody, even though when it wasn't meant for everybody. But that haircut is the one that brings discipline back to me. It's the grounding of a haircut. The grounding of being a hair cutter is the firefly.
Fantastic. That's on my channel, actually, that's the third most viewed video is my firefly haircut.
Yeah, I'll bet. And it's coming back.
Yes.
That whole idea. You might see texture inside of it, but it's hidden.
Yes.
But what really stands out is that low graduation.
Yeah. And your favorite technique, whether it be cutting or styling ever, that you use, in the commercial environment?
It's the one probably people cringe when they see me do it. It's the one where I go through, it's weaving with the texture shear and back combing on it. And people are going, oh, what is he doing? But when they do it, they're like, oh my gosh, the result of it. So that technique, James, is all about removing weight and not length. But you're backstroking on it so that you get an even unline of texture inside of that. So that's my favorite. Why? Because people cringe, it gets their attention. But it's also my favorite because of the end result. When they do it, they're going, oh my gosh. It gives the hair where it will stay back because it doesn't have the weight. That's my favorite.
Lovely.
Oh, I know.
Go.
Another one. The twisted cut fringe.
Ah, yes.
That one's
Sam,
one of my favorite.
Honestly, that was where I discovered your channel.
Is it?
That is literally how I discovered
When
your
I
channel.
did that, people were like, oh my gosh. I couldn't believe how many people like that cut. Guess what, James? Would you like to know where I learned that?
Go.
As I said, I'm not an inventor. In beauty school.
Really?
Yes, because one of the teachers, his name was Peter Hans, and he would twist cut a diagonal line here, he would elevate it, twist it, and he would end up with a diagonal like this. And then he did it in a fringe where he would twist it and it would just go like this. And I always remembered that. So once again, I'm a teacher, I'm your messenger, I'm not an inventor.
Wow, that is a very cool story. Well, that's all the questions I have for you, Sam. Honestly, thank you, my friend. It's
James.
been an absolute honour to meet you and talk to you and interview you. And don't forget, if you've enjoyed this, guys, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Sam's channel, which is Sam Villa, and check his website out in the description. It has been he's been one of my heroes now for the last 5 or 6 years, ever since I discovered his channel. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Check out Sam's stuff. This has been, honestly, I'm buzzing. Thank you.
And if you ever see me, guys, at a hair show, do me a favor. Come up and say hi, introduce yourself. You have a friend. I'm not a rock star.
Great. Sam Villa.
Thank you. Thanks, James.
Sam, my friend.
Oh, hold on. Heart to heart, bro.
Thank you.
That was great. Great
Thank
stuff.
you,
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you, Sam.